Hi friends, I'm Sophia. In this video, I'll be showing you how I made this hat, and the secret is in the fabric. Hi friends, welcome to the channel Sophia Sews and Play. In this video, I will be sharing with you how I made this hat. I'm going to try to make a couple more. I'm not sure of all of them, but right now, between this one and this one, which are the same, only the bowl is different, and you could put it, you can maneuver, how you say the word, you can maneuver, or like this. So this is what I am going to be showing you today. And then it's only 3 patterns, so it's going to be the 17, which this is the band. This right here is the 15, which is the crown. And then this one right here is the top of the hat. So now what we're going to do first is, let me lay this aside so I can show you what I'm going to do first. So what we're going to do first is stitch this together. All right. And we're going to put this somewhere here. All right, so whatever I'm done with is here. Okay, I have these here because I'm going to be making 3, or actually more than 3, because I have 2 of them done, but these 2 will be, but I'm going to be showing you on this one right here. So we're going to stitch this on the wrong side. First, we're going to pin it. If you see the markings, it's because I drew it before. That'll be okay. So we're going to put it on the wrong side, and this is where we're going to pin. We'll be pinning here because we're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch this way. So I'm going to stitch this way, and I will be back. Okay, so now we're done stitching this way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open it and lay it down on the wrong side up. Okay, the right side will be down, and these little threads right here that is hanging out, don't worry about it. And I have to tell you that this one, I cut the pattern 1 inch wider, so if you see all this space, that's the reason why. Now with this one, I am going to do it different. But when you do the other one, what you're going to do is you're going to cut the pattern as is and continue. But because I wanted this one more larger at the end, I will show you the difference. So what I'm going to do with this first, before I add the flat part or the top, I'm going to how do I say the word? Words always go away from me when I'm making a video. It's like my brain going in panic mode, and it shouldn't be by now. But if you go to my channel and you see like the very first month of my videos, you are going to see a woman that is so camera scared. And you could see it in my face, you could hear it in my voice, but I pushed myself, okay, because I knew that was not me, right? I do crazy stuff. I've made videos and like fun time with my kids. So it's like, what is wrong with me? So this is it, right? Gathering. I just got the word after saying all of that. So what I'm going to do is right now is I'm going to gather this so that when I add the band, it will be able to, get to the size that I want to. But the reason I'm doing it, gathering it, is because I want it fluffier. So as you can see, friends, I've already sewn around it, or hand sewn around it, so that I can go pulling to gather as I go pinning. So what I'm going to do is use these attachments right here instead of pinning it, and I'll go all the way around and then I'll show you. So as you can see now, it's all pinned, ready to go stitch all the way around. This will be opened right here. So we're going to go ahead and stitch this. But before we go stitch this so that we could do all of it together, I'm going to set this aside. And then I'm going to be working on the band. This is the band right here. All right, so we're going to work on the band, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the band. That way when I take the crown and the top to stitch around it, then this will also be ready. It is so beautiful. The more beautiful part of this project is when I'm going to decorate it. All right, so this right here is the band, headband, and we have to cut two elastics size 2.5 or 2 inches long. So we're going to stitch this right to the edge right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just pin it here. We'll pin right here, each edge. And we're not going to stitch that edge yet. I'll show you why. I'm going to attempt to put the elastic between here, then I'll stitch that for last. All right, so what we're going to do is stitch this together 1/8 of an inch all the way this way. And you may not want to do a tight stitch. What you may want to do is just kind of tack it in, or I get the word, base it. Okay, so for now I'll just go ahead and I broke the little pin. So once they're broke, they're no longer any good. So we're going to spin this, because every place that I pin together or tack together is going to be stitched. So we're going ahead to the machine and stitch this straight, and then go ahead and stitch also the crown and the top. See you when I'm done. So we have it all stitched up. I had to do a little zigzag at the end of the stitches because this fabric, it frays a lot. At the end of the video, I'll let you know what type of fabric this is. And so here is the crown and the top sewn together, and here is the band also. So we're going to turn it inside out, put it on the right side, like so. And then we are going to be making sure all of the edges is okay all the way out. And we're going to press it to make sure it's kind of nice and flat so that we can add the crown to it. So just go to the iron now and press it, you know, at the edges like this. And then we'll come back to add the band. Okay, friends, so right here we have everything ready to add the band. Okay, but remember I said we need 2 pieces of elastic 2 inches long. So I'm going to cut 2 of them 2 inches long. But because I already made I made one and I did that, maybe my head is big. I'm going to go ahead and do 2.5 each one, so that when it stretches out, because this band, I put it around my head and it did not close. So I don't know if that's intentional or what, but that is the size, the size. It's just one size per um per pattern. And then again, this, the way this is fitted, it may not be all your head. So we will play with it. When I'm done with it, I'll play with it with my head and I'll show you how it fits. But in reality, it says to cut 2 inches, both of them. But I'm going to go ahead and do 2.5. Okay. And I could always, I'm just testing it out now because the first one, it really fit tight. And I don't like stuff really tight squeezing my head. I don't know, for some reason I just don't like stuff like that. That's why I don't wear a lot of wig, not wig, I don't wear braids. And I love braids. I used to wear braids a lot when I was a little bit younger. Right now I'm young, but I'm not that young when I used to wear it. And so I don't anymore, just because of that. So what we're going to do with this piece of rubber elastic, we are going to add it between here. Just remember that 2 inches, maybe that's what it was. I cut it 2 inches, but then I didn't have room for stitch, so I probably took a 1/2 inch because I did kind of stitch it big. So this time I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch, so that'll still give me a little bit more room to play with. So we're going to put the whole thing on the wrong side. Okay, then the band, we're going to start this way. We make sure it's in half. Okay, and also the headband, we're going to find the stitch, end stitch and the middle here, and we're going to find the middle. Then we're going to pin this in the inside this way, in the middle. All right. I do apologize for the dog barking. And then we're going to go ahead and keep going around, making sure it's all set around. Pin all the way around. Don't worry if this doesn't stay in the middle. That's okay. See how this fabric frays a lot? Wow. Anyways, I had to come back and turn it around to the wrong side, because the way I have to add the band, once you put the band in the inside, it's just like the sleeves. You put it inside, and then once you're done, everything stays on the wrong side, and then when you put it on the right side, it'll come through perfect. So it's all done. We're finished sewing and cleaning. I tried to clean the best I could with the serger. It's a lot better because it was fraying really bad, friends. All right, so here's the elastic and here's the edge. See the edge right here. So what we're going to do with this elastic right here, we're going to stitch it. I forgot to stitch it. So for now, I'm going to just put this on here so I can show you the end result of this. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a safety pin so far on it now. The reason why is because I want to make sure that it's working right, that I did it right, or did it the way that I like it. So we're going to just pin this elastic together and set it right side, so you can see the shape of the hat. This is how it's supposed to look. All right, here it is. Here it is. All right, so here's the headband. And let's see if I could show you, send it up in here. And this more or less is what it's going to look like. All right. I can't show you the whole thing because that's not working. But this is what it should look like. And then after it's all done, then we will show you on the head. But I'll go ahead and get, see, that's how it's supposed to look. All right. So far. So we're going to set this aside and be the decoration that I'm going to do. This one right here, I don't want the bow on it. So what I did is make the bow, not the bow, but these flowers right here, I'm going to do this style more or less. Without putting in the bone. I'm going to try not to put the bone in there, okay? But because I want it to look like this, but with this flower. So here I have the flowers. And the pattern for these flowers are in there. So I have it here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I did some already, but I want to show you what I did to make it the way it is. That's why I tell you sometimes I just do other things other than the rule to make my own, to make it my own. But you know. All right, so what I did was I used fabric Mod Podge, and then I used this right here. So I'm going to add, I don't really want to get this table with this. So I'm going to add this here, hopefully that you can see. All right, yes, you can. So here's the Mod Podge. All right. So I'm going to get these on the wrong side. They both look so close, but the right side shines more than the other one. So this, is this 2 or 1? It's so thick. Okay, I don't want it to fray. So that's the wrong side, and then I have the other wrong side for that. And I'm trying to look for as much as I can the edge. I'll do it like this. This one goes like that. And then I do this. You don't have to do this, but I do it because I don't want to stitch it. I guess you could stitch it if you want to, but I don't want to stitch it. It's a hat, and it's going to be just worn one time, I guess. I just want to be able to know how to make something, a hat, when it's emergency. I can make my own hat. So here it is. So we're going to do this with the Mod Podge. And then I just add the Mod Podge the best I can on this fabric, this side right here. I am going to get some on the table, but I could clean this off. That's why I did not want it on this one. And then we continue, right? We are going to continue here. So I take this and make sure I'm lining it up, and then I'm going to do this. And then just make sure it's lined up together. The reason why is because I don't want the wrong side to pop up, you know, because I'm going to just leave it kind of loose like this on the hat. When I'm ready to put it on the hat, I'll show you how it's going to be. I just have to clean this up and then bring the head for the hat. So that's what we're going to do, and let it just dry. In some cases, what I do is I just kind of fold it like this so it kind of dry like this, and so that when it's dried, it doesn't look so flat. It just stays kind of like, you know, puffy on the hat. So I'll do this to show you again. We just put the Mod Podge, and you could, well, actually I've used other Mod Podge, not necessarily fabric, but because I bought some Mod Podge, and I bought Mod Podge for every occasion, for everything that I want to work with or play with, because it's my channel is Sophia Sews and Play. It used to be Sophia Sews and Pray, but right now I have the other channel that is only for scriptures, and then I just go ahead and sew on this. So I did not want to change too much the name, so I said Sophia Sews and Play, because I do play. I get tired of sewing, so I do other things, and which is craft. So here we go. We're going to put this on top here like we did with the other one. Yes, it's going to be a little messy, but it's easy to wash off. And fabric, it'll make it work better because it's fabric, for fabric. But I've used the other ones on fabric and it just does the same thing. So I just figure, hey, let's go ahead and use fabric for fabric. I have the Mod Podge that is also for dishwasher safe. So I'll do something with that. I don't know when. So here it is, and I'm going to let it dry. That's how I made these. I made these already. I just wanted to so you can see how I did mine. And so I have 3, and I'm going to, these are the decorations for the hat. And what I want to add on this is some pearls and some blings on it. So I'll show you how I'm going to add the blings and the pearls on it. So this hat right here, I'm going to make sure it looks fabulously, as fabulous and professional as I can. So this is how I did this. These two has to dry, because these are dry, very well and dried, because I did it last night. And so here is the Mod Podge that you want to get for fabrics. Hi friends, here now I'm almost done totally. So here is the hat right here. So I'm going to fix it up here and show you how it's supposed to look. But before I do that, I want to show you these. I was going to put some blings on it like I did with this one right here, but it's kind of like, it's too much. So what I did was sewed on some pearls just to give it that, look. So I have 5 of them. Was it 5? Was it 5? Yeah. We have 5 that we're going to put on. I'm not sure. I might iron on some of this bling instead. This bling is more like diamonds. So I don't know if it'll be shown or not. But I'll put it on and see how it looks, and then from there. But anyways, we're going to finish here. So what we're going to do right here, what I'm going to do here is, see how the back right here is the elastic. I have not sewed it yet because I'm going to do that for last, once I try it on and make sure that it doesn't fit. It doesn't hurt. So I'm going to adjust this on her head, on its head. Let's say her for now, so that I can show you. Let me see. All right, hold on. I gotta do it where it will fit her head, because I do want to get the oh my goodness, what did I put? Okay, I'll just use this. All right, I'll just use that pin. The thing is that I'm going to show you how it's going to go on, because I can't use this head in order to put the flower where I want it. I have to use my head to put the flower where I want it, which I should do that and then come back and show you. But I'll show you now, and then after I finish it up on me, then when it's all done, I'll show you on me. But for now, let me show you how this is supposed to look, because I want to see it too. And so this is the head that I use when I make my hats. All right, so here is how it's supposed to be, right? So we want to do this way. All right, these flowers here, I want to sew them on here. And how am I going to sew all of these five? I'm just going to kind of um, lapse it on each other so far, just in that one spot, so it'll look kind of fluffy. And at the same time, I may put some more glue on it to kind of give it the roundish. So that's more or less what I want it to look like. Okay, so this is what the hat's supposed to look like after it's all done, and the back's supposed to look like this. I will be showing you how it looks on me, but that's pretty much the hat. Let me show you the ones that I have already done. But then I found this fabric, and I wanted this fabric because I like the idea that it's gold, because I have some plan for that one. So I made this polka dot one, and this is what it looks like. I will be wearing this to model it to you. This one I have some a type of I don't remember what it's called, but it's not bone, but this little rope, it acts like a what you call that, like the okay, that bone, right? And what this is those they put these like on boxes when they're going to ship them out. You know, when you have heavy duty stuff, they just put it, they print, they tape the boxes, but they also use these things that looks like, these ropes that looks like bone. So I didn't have bone at the time, or I do have some, you know, but I have it somewhere packed up in the garage that is like, I didn't want to go in there. And so I use this one. So that's how this stays this way. Now, the fabric that I use on this one is a type of like a silky type. So you could, this one can be worn any way. It also has the elastic in the back. All right, so that's the middle of the back right here. This hat don't go all the way down. You know, you wear your hair anyhow, and then you just put it on like it's you know, like a bow or whatever. But this is this one that I made, and you can wear it anyway. You can use it anyway. I mean, there's no special way to wear this one. However you want to fix it on the hair, that's how it works. Okay. Unlike the gold one I really want it to look like this or close to it. Remember I told you the bow is going to be like this one. And then I made this one. So I only made 3, and then I have the other 2 to make, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and make those because I have these. And unless my daughter want it, then I'll go ahead and sew it, but I'm not going to sew it if they don't want it. So here is the orange and black. This one is just plain cotton fabric that I used. And I'm going to go ahead and pin this in the back so we can see how nice it looks. I just love it. Okay. My motto here is beautiful. So the day that I model this, I'm going to make sure that my face is nice and beautiful so that the hat can look fabulous. So this is what it looks like, friends. Look at that. I kind of like this one. I probably will just, I don't know, I'll sell this to anyone that wants to go ahead and do whatever they want with it in October or whatever. But this is the amazing look of this hat. And that's why I like that model, because you can do anything you want with this. I could wear my hair out and then just put this like this and it'll stay up like this. You see? And then this is the back of it. So what do you think about this? Would you make these hats just for the fun of it? Anyways, so friend, I did tell you that I was going to tell you what fabric it is that I used for the gold one. All right, let's put it back on her. Look, I mean, I'm telling you something. Let me tell you something. No hard feelings, because any woman that wears this looks beautiful in it. I am telling you because I go to tea parties that all type of races goes to those tea parties, and they all wear hats, and no one wears no specific hats. Everybody wear the ones they have, and I tell you, we all look like queen. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing like a black queen in one of these hats, okay? I'm telling you. When you see a black queen wear these hats, mm-mm-mm. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay? So, let's get ready for the tea parties, child. I may have one for myself, even if it's just for me. I'll show you the pictures, but I'm going to have a nice time with these hats. I'm going to make more hats. But right now, I wanted to make something different other than just sewing. And I used my I just put this like this for now. I used my Elna to sew all of this because I wanted to play with my Elna, and I know that I have to play with my Sears Kenmore, the mini sage green looking one. But I was kind of cleaning the room and getting all of my vintages, which is Singers, my Elnas, and my Sears Kenmore in one line because I'm prepping them for the International Sewing Machines Day. So that's what I'm at right now, and I'm still got to sew something on there to show you that that machine is powerful. But right now I'm on the Elna because I have to learn the Elna. So I'm going to be using the Elna for 1 whole month, but in between I will be using the Sage to show you, because promises is a depth, and I did promise that I was going to show you the Sage Sears Kenmore. But right now I'm going to go ahead and add these on, but I have to put it on my head first to make sure that where I want these flowers to be, it's going to be corrected, because I can't use her head because her head is shaped different from mine. So look at this. I love these hats. Anyways, friends, right, I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so now that I have it on my head and the way I want it to be on my head, you see where I have these pins right here? It's my guide so that I can go ahead and start sewing them in this area like I want. So like this. I just wanted to show you more or less what I was doing, because you see our heads are different. So look, you see how nice this is looking already? Anyways, I will be back when I'm all done with this dress. It's not a dress. When I'm all done with this amazing hat. Okay, friends. So this is how I'm going to be working on this. Then I'm going to add some of this in the middle. And once it's all done and finished, you will see it on me. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. And let me tell you a little bit more about the pattern. So this is the pattern right here. It is the Simplicity 9834. And this is the model that I am attempting to make without that bow. Instead, I made this one, but I used the flowers that comes on this one. And then this is the pattern of it right here, okay? So what I did, I traced it. This is the small one. We got the long, big one and the small one. I didn't make the small ones for this one, but this is how I cut it out after I trace it on this. And the paper, this is more right here. So what I did was I traced it, then I cut this one out, but then I cut this one out on a regular paper. But this is the best way to do it, okay? I use this tracing paper, and got this result. So you can get this type of tracing paper or any tracing paper. I happen to have a lot of these right here because at the Goodwill I went and I saw this in a package and I got it because I know I use a lot of tracing, so I use this. So this is very good. So that's how I did this to keep this pattern intact. I just went ahead and traced it, and then I cut it, and I can always cut it. Well, by this was so flimsy, I used a kind of like a harder cardboard type of paper, and then that's how I keep the pattern intact in case, you know, I give it away or somebody can do whatever. But this is the way I did mine. So this is how I made this amazing hat. I mean, it's very easy, very, very easy. So see you when it's all done, and you will, next time you see me, I will be wearing this to show you how amazing it looks. Thanks for watching. Thanks. So here is this one, the orangey girl. Here she is.